raised $1 billion. The Trump campaign raised $400 million.
Because you don't need all of that.
I'm talking, when I say they kicked our ass, I'm saying that I don't even want to say they because it makes it seem like I'm on the side.
Right.
When I say that the Republicans kicked the Democrats' ass, they kicked their ass and didn't spend, not even close. There are 3 different super PACs for Trump that didn't spend a third of the money that was inside of what they raised. Guess what they do? It's all transparent. They go back to everybody that invested into this super PAC. Guess what they did?
Went back to them.
Transparency. This is what was spent. We know we gonna break down the percentages of what's left over, and we're gonna give it back to you.
But part of that is also a bigger conversation when you talk about people. Like I literally talked to somebody yesterday, and they was like, "Oh, Trump won." You know why? Because most of America reads at a 7th to 8th grade level,
Which is what they want,
right? So the comprehension level is going to be different too. So we talking about a comprehension of things that they don't even know nothing about. So
I'm saying, but this is a conversation because the other part about that is that if we can talk about a lot of these things all day. You go into the abortion conversation. Why? You go into the education conversation. Why? Why? Because these numbers, you can add these numbers up as soon as who's having abortions. The black woman in America has abortions 10 times at a rate 10 times higher than any other in the population of America.
Let's get to the root of why.
Right?
It's more Planned Parenthoods in black neighborhoods than any other place. Yeah. On top of that, but the problem problem that they were talking about with abortions was not just having abortions, it was having abortion at late terms, which black women don't do that. I don't know any black woman that's trying to go get an abortion between 7 to 9 months. That's something that other racists were doing.
It's a misinformation.
It's fear-mongering.
Yeah, so misinformation conversation because why? Why? Because they know that every black baby that is born into poverty equals a bed or they can calculate
how many.
No, they don't want. No, they don't want more black babies. They have.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Who's
Pause.
Who's going to fill up the prisons?
Pause. Planned Parenthood was created for depopulation. Yeah. It was created by Margaret Sanger.
Then why are they making so much money?
The whole purpose, because they're given money and it's money invested.
But what is the money though?
It's money invested by the elites to ensure that the black communities has abortion. Do you know back in the day, if you had an abortion on a reservation, they automatically gave you a hysterectomy? Do you know that black women are recommended to have hysterectomies at a rate of 10 to 30 times more than any other race? They do not want more black babies. They have more Planned Parenthoods in black communities because they want us to kill our babies. Because by the year 2048, 2050, white people will no longer be the majority.
That's a fact.
And personally, I think that they're already a minority, but they don't want to talk about it because we don't know how many Latino people are in this country.
I'm confused. So wait a minute. So who just won? Who just won the election?
Somebody.
What did he run on?
What you mean?
What was the biggest conversation that he ran on?
Abortion.
If he won and the people that voted for him agreed and he won and those people don't want babies to get to be killed, they're saying.
I gotta correct you right there. He wasn't saying he wasn't running on to have abortions. Trump was running on giving control of it. No, Trump was running on giving control of abortions back to the states. Trump was saying the Democratic Party was saying that everybody should have the right to do abortions, period. Trump was saying let's give the rights back to the state levels because places like Texas are bigger on pro-life than a place like New York. But at the end of the day, because it ain't no goddamn legislation or any legislation that's ever been tried to be made about men controlling their bodies, stay the fuck out of women's business.
I agree with you, but still, hold on. Yeah. But still, what does that still add up to? Even if I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you. We're saying it 2 different ways. I'm agreeing with you. That still
more white kids
points to.
That's what they want.
It still points to if you take away the ability, if black people are having abortions at a 10 times higher rate. If you take away the ability for a black person to get an abortion, what does that increase?
So let me.
The black population.
Let me help out.
We're having it at a higher rate.
no,
It's
no,
actually
no.
white
It's
people.
statistical.
But-
It's right there.
wait,
Wait, hold on, let's go.
Wait,
We can Google that.
I'm gonna put this out here because what I think both of y'all making points based on your information that you have, but what is going on from my studies, right? What's going on is if his policy is to give it back to the states, right? He wants each state to be able to decide, okay? Right? So this is where the thing where two things could be true at the same time. If you look at the map, but just right now with the election, you see which states are going to allow women to continue to have babies and which states are going to maybe curb women to not have babies. And you're looking at states that may have higher
No, by population.
but listen though, if you give it to if you give the power to the states
population.
to decide, and you take it a blanket thing away for the United States, right? We can then have a conversation that says these states that have majority white people can continue to have babies and not be able to and not be able to have abortions. And then when you got a more dense population of black people, those states just so happen now to be able to continue to have abortions.
Exactly.
What happens is you do even out because you say, okay, we're still doing the same practices, making people get
How is that
hysterectomy.
possible when Georgia was one of the states that benefited from the universal?
To abortion?
Yes.
Yeah, it's more white.
Georgia is a Republican state.
I know that.
White.
That's
But
what he's saying.
the
That's what I'm
majority of the I'm saying so
No, I
if it
agree
works
with
for
you.
them, hold on. If it works in their favor for this to be passed, that means that Georgia won't allow abortions.
But do you think it's more black people in Georgia? You're saying Georgia?
Georgia is a Republican state.
listen
It's more
to me.
white people.
Mississippi is a Republican state.
more white people.
Alabama is a Republican
I
state.
know,
I'm agreeing with you.
Florida is a Republican
You
state.
making my point right.
You're
Texas
making my
is a
point.
Republican state.
We're agreeing with you.
They're
Right.
taking abortions
You're
away.
right.
Exactly. That's what I'm
so
saying.
Which means
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
who gets more?
We
Who
with
gets
you.
more?
The white.
The white.
No, blacks.
We
Listen,
with you.
let me say this.
Oh, listen. I hear what you're
can't
saying.
wait till this shit
I hear
come
what you're
out.
saying, but listen to me real quick, and then I'm
Two
gonna shut
in,
up.
one out.
Just listen one time, bro. Atlanta is black.
Exactly.
Georgia, not Georgia.
Up to Georgia.
I know that. So
Alright,
if Georgia said,
So
if
if
Georgia
it's up
said,
to Georgia,
My apologies.
Georgia said
sorry.
no. Listen.
My
Georgia,
bad, my bad.
listen.
I just want the math.
Listen
No,
for
I'm
one
better
second.
with math.
Man,
I'm better with
I'm
math.
telling you.
I don't need an explanation.
Listen, Georgia said no abortion.
Okay, do the math.
Georgia said
No
no abortion.
more white people.
Atlanta
more.
has black people. Cool, whatever.
We don't care
But the
about-
outside of that shit
yeah.
is crucial to white people. You go right now, it's a sign that a nigga got a fence full of Trump shit and them fly.
Right,
You see this shit?
Springs, right.
I get it.
Nigga full of that shit.
I get it though. I get it.
White people.
So can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to agree with you guys, right, from the standpoint of I know this, and so I'm going off of the numbers.
I got you.
Right. The numbers say that 33.4%, 1/3 of all abortions in the United States of America, were by black people.
The percentage be lying though.
that's where I was getting at. That's why I said what numbers.
Numbers lie.
That's why I said where did
just-
you get the numbers from?
I just would like to be able to just. I would like to just be able to
Also a
finish like
deeper conversation
If you,
in
I'm
that,
saying,
though,
if
Go ahead, finish your numbers.
thank you, I appreciate it. If
I-
I'm talking about numbers, can I have the bandwidth?
Go ahead,
You know what I'm
finish
saying?
your numbers,
I
man.
appreciate that.
5 seconds on numbers.
33%, 1/3 of black people are come up with the number on abortions.
Right.
30% are white people. 26% are Hispanic. Right. We just go with those.
Right.
That equals up almost 90%.
Right.
Out of the whole population, right, according to the census,
Right.
17% of the population of America is black.
Black, right.
15% of the population of America is Hispanic. 51% of the population of America is white.
Including people that
So
white.
a person who represents 18%
Claim it.
of a whole, we'll just say a billion people. 18% of a billion is 180 million.
Right.
51% of a billion is 510 million. But out of that, 330 billion.
I get what you're saying. For us
Of
to
the
have
people-
for us to have such a small to represent such a small population, but have that high
The
percentage
numbers
of abortion.
show
We're
it.
targeted.
No, we
And
are
that's
the
all we're
majority.
saying.
That's fine that we're targeted. I'm just going on the numbers.
I'm agreeing
So
with
if Georgia
Yeah.
is a Republican state
Yes.
and doesn't want to allow people access
Right.
to abortions,
Right.
and a majority of the people that are in Georgia that get abortions are black,